If you own a shop or if you're mobile roaming around, chances are you're probably looking for more leads and sales. But when it comes to actually acquiring new customers, people are talking about SEO, ads, you should do this, you should do that. So I'm gonna give you the no bullshit breakdown of exactly what you need to do and what you need to learn in order to effectively scale and actually grow your shop without any kinds of one trick stuff, without you throwing your money at the wall and seeing what sticks. My name is Hunter Zarzicki. I'm the co-founder over here at Motive, where we help scale and grow shops with no bullshit methods. And we have been in this industry for almost a decade. So what we're creating here isn't something we just created yesterday or last year. This is something that we've actually put in place at our own shop, and we actually put this in place and actually has grown and evolved over time. So again, this isn't something we just magically created or just they're trademarked. This is something that we've truly battle tested, failed at, learn from, and continue to test new ideas, and it's actually the exact framework we use at our agency to help our shops. So by the end of this video, you're not only going to be able to understand exactly what you need to do, but you're also going to be able to generate more customers and learn how to retain the ones that you have. So I'm gonna explain to you what we call the traction stack here at Motive. Let's just say you have an army and you have a camp. So one part of that is it's you recruiting and getting more people into your camp for your army. You're going out there, you're acquiring new people. The other part of that one is you have to take care of the camp, making sure they're happy and they're not going anywhere else like other competitors, for example. So the way I put it is you have one part of it, which is most agencies and what most people focus on, is acquiring the new customers. This is going to be your stuff such as Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, SEO, acquiring people who have never used you before. And then another part of that one is going to be going back to your customers and building your customer base up and getting them back into the shop. This is the part that most people neglect. It's also going to be the most profitable for you. So in this video, I'm going to cover both of these and what you can do to effectively make sure that you're getting the most money back. So what I have here is your typical, very simple marketing funnel. This is what you need to be building for your shop. Everyone who is at that 7 and 8 figure mark in their shop has built this to whether they know it or not. They need to build this kind of funnel to really understand on how we can effectively get new customers and retain the ones that we already have and get them back into the shop here. So what we have here is, of course, we have the intention, interest, conversion, down to customer, and customer base there. There's gonna be, let's just imagine we have 100 people up top here and the intention, right? Now, the next part, not everyone is gonna be interested in your services or even have a vehicle that qualifies for a service, let's say for paint protection film. And then once people are interested, not everyone is gonna become a customer. So this funnel gets smaller and smaller as it goes down here. Now for attention, these are some things you can do to gather attention. This is gonna be stuff such as the Facebook ads, the Instagram ads, the content you produce, whether it's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and for the physical world, going out to things like cars and coffee. You're getting attention. You're showing your business to people who may not know you exist. The next up of that one is gonna be interest. These are people searching, actively searching for your service or your business. So these are gonna be tactics such as Google ads. Let's do search engine optimization, which is just having your website rank higher organically, easier to find. And then also optimizing your Google business profile. These are people actively searching for you or your service. And the next up here is the actual inquiry of such. So these are going to be the sales calls. These are going to be the follow-up systems you have in place. And they're also going to be any other additional touch points you have. And of course, your website and anything else that gets them over the line into an actual paying customer. And then what you have down here, this is the second part of the traction stack, I like to call it. This is your customer base. So everyone who gets funneled down into this bot here becomes another customer. Right? Now, I graduated with a marketing degree, not an art degree, so I do apologize on this one. So what happens is you continuously grow your customer base, right? Every time you acquire a new customer, your customer base gets larger and larger. This is your email list, your text list, everything like that there. But what we actually want to manufacture is getting these people back into the funnel. And that's what we're gonna talk about later in this video. Because these people have already bought from you. They already know you, they already like you, they already trust you. Of course, assuming that customer experience was as best as possible. This is something that you need to focus on because this is going to increase your profits by far. And overall, it almost becomes what we call like a self-sustaining funnel, where you continuously have new people into this funnel, and you can also bring your customer base back into it as a whole. So to break down the funnel into actually what you can actually do, instead of just making a theory, we can actually put this into practice. Let's talk about getting attention. Specifically, we're going to talk about the Facebook and Instagram ads. To make these ads super effective, the content is going to be by far the most important part of any Facebook or Instagram ad, because this is something that has to interrupt the pattern of someone scrolling on these platforms. You do have to think about how is this person interacting online? What are they doing? What are they searching on Instagram? What are they doing? So chances are that person is not actively looking for, let's say, PPF on their vehicle. Although they could be a qualified customer, you need to have something that brings them in and gets their attention. So when you make these videos for these ads, that's why I would say the first 3 seconds is by far the most important. It's called the hook. Look at any viral video or people who are big content creators. They often spend the most time trying to think what is gonna get the most attention. What is that hook? The first 3 seconds are by far the most important, because your goal is to get them to stop the scroll and watch the video. And in this video, of course, it shouldn't be anything longer than a minute long, but ideally it's gonna be you at the shop walking around and just talking about the services that you offer. Because what you're trying to do is bridge that gap from someone being a stranger into an actual customer. And you do that by building that know, like, and trust factor that I talk about all the time across my socials. It is by far the most important part of any kind of marketing strategy you have. Because think about it, when someone goes into your shop, what is the chance you're closing them? There's a pretty damn high chance you're closing them, because they see that you're real business and hopefully they like you and hopefully they trust you. So it's easy for that person that goes into the shop to convert into a customer, because it checks all those boxes there. So we want to bridge that gap by also trying to do that in that video. And then how we set that up, so let's just say we have that perfect video out there. What we'll do is we'll just shoot it out to everyone within a 20-mile radius there. You don't have to worry about targeting. Targeting nowadays is kind of a little bit iffy on Facebook, Instagram. Just shoot it out into a 20-mile radius and send everyone back into a landing page. Not your home page on your website, not a coding page on a website, but actual to a landing page. And we send people into a landing page because a website is not entirely designed to convert a cold traffic into an actual lead. So what a landing page does is makes it very, very easy and gives a person a reason to inquire there. Because what they're doing is, as they start researching you, you have to give them something to evaluate. Now, do you want someone to evaluate you versus a competitor just based on the pictures and content you guys are creating? Or do you want them to come into the shop and actually have a conversation with you? This is what a landing page aims to create. Rather than clicking and looking at you and other competitors, you need to be able to contact them as best you can. A landing page makes that easy as possible, because you always have to manufacture that customer journey from a stranger into a customer. And then when it comes down to nitty-gritty of things such as tracking and cost per lead, you'll use something called a Facebook pixel that actually can track each form submission and each phone call that goes onto the landing page. Now, you can also track that on our website as well, but again, not the ideal strategy. So as we move down that funnel, we go down into what's called the interest part of the funnel. This is going to be stuff like Google Ads, SEO, Google My Business, and also relating back to the Facebook ads, retargeting. Retargeting is going to be where you actually can show the people who have visited your landing page or have visited your website different set of ads. You can actually target those people specifically. So again, even if they go to my personal profile, I have the ability to show a piece of content to everyone who visits my profile. And again, people who are checking you out, they're getting educated. This is a really good time to actually go a little bit deeper and show who you really are on these kind of videos. It's not a crazy call to action base. It's going to be, hey, this is who we are, and then more introduction to what you do. Google Ads are probably my favorite way. If I had to pick one onto getting more customers, it's probably going to be Google Ads, because these are typically on the top 3 spots of a search result. Something being, let's say, PPF installer near me, professional PPF shop, something along those lines on those keywords that you can have set up there. What happens now, those ads will actually pop up on top 3. And so you're dealing with very warm and hot leads, people actually searching for your services, versus Facebook and Instagram ads where you're pulling a lot of curiosity into the business. Again, these are also going to go to the same landing page as well. Google Ads can be a little bit more complex to set up because it's not as intuitive on how to use which keywords, the bidding strategy, and everything that goes on to creating a perfect Google ad. But these are my favorite ways to attract customers because it's so easy to close those deals. And the people who go to your website and Google Business Profile may have a little bit higher intent because they can find you by not just searching those keywords, but they can also find you by going and search your name directly. So for example, if someone was looking for Admotive Auto Spa, they would just type in that on Google and they would find my Google Business Profile or my website and go contact me directly right there. And then SEO actually would just rank your website higher, make it a little bit easier to find. And the difference between that and Google Ads is, for example, when for SEO, you might rank top 1 in your local city, in your town directly, but how about 3 miles away, 5 miles away, are you top 1, or even 20 miles away, if there's an affluent neighborhood or town you're trying to target, you can make sure those Google Ads pop up number 1 overall and everywhere else. Where SEO is a little bit different ways to do different kinds of SEO tactics to make sure you're trying to rank up as high as possible, but Google, end of the day, will prefer proximity on that side versus Google Ads, where you can kind of show up everywhere you want to. So to break that down, Facebook's a little bit more of that demand creation, and then Google is a little bit more demand capture. It's like playing offense and defense. And there's some advanced strategies you can do, such as retargeting on YouTube ads and everything like that. But that's a whole nother video we'll get into. Okay, so we talked already about acquiring new customers. Now, what we're gonna talk about is how we can actually grow our customer base and how we actually can influence and grow word of mouth. Now, the problem with people relying solely on organic and waiting for people to search them and waiting for other people to tell other people that they exist, which is what word of mouth is. We can't control that one, but we can influence it, and we can influence the rate of how other people tell other people. And we do that by a couple different things here. So what we have here, let's just say we have your customer base again, and then we can grow that by doing a couple different things. So we can go back and do newsletters. These are conversational pieces to have with your customer base. This is something, hey, this is a cool project going on at the shop. This is a new YouTube video we posted out there. It's something to keep your business top of mind of your customers. It doesn't have to be anything too revolutionary, but try to send something like this out at least once a month if you can, bi-weekly. And if you have a larger customer base, and by larger I mean at least 30,000, 4,000, 5,000 people on an email list, you can up that to a weekly as well. But of course, you have to keep the content fresh, and you have to give people a reason to stay subscribed, because if you just continually shoot out offers and sales and say the same thing over and over, people are going to unsubscribe, and then you no longer have a way to reach that person ever again. What you can also do on that side is you can do text blasts. And the reason why text blasts I think are a little bit better than newsletters is because it actually has a much higher open rate on your phone versus an actual email there. Now, you do have to be very, very careful on how you utilize text blasts, because if you do this every single week or every single month, you're probably gonna piss a lot of customers off. So you have to be really strategic. We recommend doing about once a quarter. These can be a little bit more call to action oriented. It doesn't have to be long and nurturing one. The longer the text is gonna be, the less people are gonna read it, and more people are just gonna go and hit delete and unsubscribe from that side. So it has to be a very gentle balance of a promotion. So like 4th of July, for example, the time after this recording, that's a good one going out right now. You can also do something along the lines of Black Friday when time comes around. It's a very quick and easy way to get in touch with past customers. And then on the physical world, again, we can do something such as events. Now, events can be everything from hosting your own cars and coffee. It can be something unique in your area, such as looking at other shops. They have, cars and sunsets, they have cars and donuts, and they have a lot of different themes where it actually can bring your customer base back into your shop. And it has a little different atmosphere into it, because when someone usually goes into your shop the first time, it's a little bit different kind of feel and atmosphere. But when someone comes to your shop after an event, let's say Cars and Coffee, it's relaxed, there's no pressure, they have the guard down, and actually can get a little bit more insight about who you are as a person, and then get a little bit more insight into your shop, employees, and everything like that. And that's actually how you create some pretty cool, loyal customers too. And then of course, how about just calling them up? You can call up your top customers and just have a conversation. This can even just be things, hey, you got your coating done last year, how's it going? Just have an additional touch point for them, because a lot of times you'll see, hey, I just got another vehicle, I'm looking to get it done. Can I come in and get a quote for that one? Or can you check this out? What it be? You just need to strike up conversations with more of your past customers. So overall, what these do is it sends more people back into the funnel to increase your profits overall monthly revenue. So at this point, you're probably thinking, how the hell do I use all these things? So a couple of different softwares you can use. My personal favorite is Go High Level, or High Level is some people know it, or maybe a lead connector on the phone. What these allow you to do is set up a lot of automations to continue to follow up with past customers and engage with new leads that come in the door. And it helps you build this self-sustaining funnel that continues to help bring more and more people into your business while also retaining the ones that you have currently. So to recap everything, what we're doing is we're building the attention grabbers with the Facebook ads and Instagram ads. We're getting the intent stuff going where people are searching for you guys. So with the Google ads and the SEO and the Google profile. And then once we have a customer, what we're doing is we're nurturing that one and we're getting people back in the door by doing newsletters, text blasts, events, and actually calling people up on that side. If you can execute these two principles at a high degree, you should have no problem continuing to get more customers and having your schedule filled for months. And if you want help building this funnel, this is something we do all day, every day for all of our shops. You know where to find us right here. We can help you out. We have a bunch of different resources as well. Or if you want us to audit your marketing funnel, please let us know.